Well, so where do I begin? It's been a month since we posted, and I'm going to see if I can get the channel back in line here. Last time we talked, we were in, I got to have notes. We were at Indian Bread Rocks BLM, looking at the cows on the hill. Since then, oh, you're going to notice something's up. There's a Ford Ranger out there. I'll get to that. Since then, Irene and I, we meandered. Oh, that's probably copyrighted material. We wandered up through New Mexico. Quick stop at the City of Rocks again, and then stopped in just south of Truth or Consequences at the Beal Reclamation's site there on the river, which is free, but it's it would be nice. It's on the river. It's real pretty, but it's also becoming the city trash dump. So I'm not even going to put in the coordinates for that. No, maybe I will. Got up to Socorro and stayed overnight. And then we went and did the VLA. This is one of our bucket list trips. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Twice a month, they have a behind-the-scenes tour of the Very Large Array, which is really neat. It's probably not going to show up great in the pictures because it's so big. I mean, it spans, 15 miles. But anyway, very, very cool, and I highly recommend taking that tour. From there, February 17th, we went to the Valley of Fires BLM. We stumbled on this campsite. We were driving over towards Roswell, saw this place, highly recommend it. It's BLM, so it was $9 with our senior pass. Great showers, clean restrooms, and really a great view. You're kind of overlooking this lava field. They have a walkway through it. Anyway, great spot. Then we moved down, went through Roswell. If you're going through Roswell, stop and see the aliens. There's a little museum there. I don't know how far I'd go out of my way to see it, but if you're going through, it's kind of a fun stop, and it's the museum. I think it was just a couple $3 or something. It was really inexpensive, but well worth the stop if you're going through town. From there, headed down just south of Carlsbad, the city, just north of the Caverns. BLM boondocking, free Dark Canyon Road. Great spot, lots of cow pies, big area, and it's wide and level. So if you guys are in like a Class A and you want to be near Carlsbad Caverns, this one's really easy to get into. Good road and a huge area. There was a schoolie there and another in a Class A and ourselves, and we were spread out, not anywhere near each other. So it was. That's a great spot for some free camping if you want to do Carlsbad Canyon. The cavern itself is really cool. Another one of our things we always wanted to see. Didn't see it last year, but Irene and I really like that. Hey, wait up here. We got to do the selfie thing. What? Here we are. We're going to try and do a selfie and not fall in this giant pit. Here, we're going into Carlsbad Caverns, the natural entrance. We got a 10-mile hike ahead of us. I gotta fall this hole. Look at this. This is just terrible. Look at that. But God. Look at these little railings they got. Look at these dinky little railings. Like old people are just gonna tumble over the edge. There's Irene back there.
Don't take my picture.
Yeah. She's on the don't take her picture thing. Look at that. And we already came down this. So, okay. Anyway, we'll keep in touch. Toured the Caverns. The Caverns, and I don't know because I hadn't been there since I was a kid. Now the tours are self-guided, which is great because you can spend some time. They give you a little recorder that you can listen to at different stations. So you'd get the spiel like the ranger was there. But you don't have to be in a rush. And we noticed so many of the other folks going through, it was like they were on a forced march, just heads down and going down the trail. Irene and I took probably twice as long as what they recommend and just sort of waited and stopped and took in the caverns, which is just a beautiful place. I mean, it's really hard to describe. So that is really worth going to the caverns. That night we left there, we went to some BLM just south of Carlsbad on Highway 62. It's a good open area, not as open as the one to the north, but still you could get in there with a fifth wheel or a Class A, and it's a very short drive. The one right near White City we went into, there's one there, that had a lot of construction going on, big trucks driving back and forth, so I don't recommend that right now until that dies down. So it's just the second one south of White City. From there we went to Davis Mountain State Park. That's a park, I had been to it before. Get you into Texas, we were headed south, and it's nice enough, but it's $32 a night, which is the most we ever spent on this entire trip for a campsite. Bathrooms are okay, not $32 worth. There's no internet at all unless you go up on top of the hill. So if you're looking for any kind of connection, not the place to be. And then, you know, we got looking at the weather at home. You may have picked up on that Irene doesn't like the desert. She had some good times. We had fun. Carlsbad and the VLA, and we did the biosphere. We did Kitt Peak, the big science stuff, especially around Tucson. I know we both really liked, but she is not a fan of the desert. Claims it's drying her skin out, and so we decided to head home then on February 21st. Hit a horrendous ice storm in Sweetwater, Texas. Us and several hundred other people were hunkered down at a Walmart. Anyway, we headed home. Took us 21st, 5 days to get home. All Walmart stops, nothing spectacular there, nothing bad either. Everything worked out really well. Got home on the 25th. Stayed there for a few days, taking care of a few things. Made arrangements, got a new furnace put in the house, did our taxes, got our mail. The mail service while we were gone was a disaster. We used Good Sam. I don't believe it was anything to do with them. I think it was really the post office was misdirecting some things. Friends were getting letters back undeliverable, things like that. But we got the mail straightened out, got all our tax forms, and did that. And Irene's staying at home, so now it is just the Ranger and Jane and I can't, the car's Irene's, and she won't drive a stick or doesn't like to drive a stick. So I've got my little Ranger back on the road, and I left the 17th because I'm going down where it's warm. I do like the desert. I'm not so worried about my skin drying out. But I got back on the road. First night back, March 17th, I stopped in Montrose City Park, which is in, I think that's in Illinois. Excuse me, I didn't write the state down. That's a good spot. I'll put a link down below. The weather was terrible, but this would be a good place in the summertime. Nice little lake, $11 a night with power, so pretty good deal. Then the March 18th, I stopped at a Walmart in Denton, and then I started heading for Dallas. This is would have been Monday, the 19th. Headed for Dallas, huge thunderstorm. Ran into a downpour, and my alternator just went out completely on the old Ranger. So we limped into the Ford dealer in Melbourne, and $500, and 4 hours later I was back on the road, but I was depressed. So I looked on free campsites and found this place where I'm at now, and this is actually my third day here. Arlie Moore, Corps Engineers campsite with my senior pass, $750 a night, and I'll put some more pictures and I'll go out and shoot some video. It is a great little campsite overlooking DeGray Lake. Good, clean restrooms, hot showers. There's power hookup, and like I said, for $750, that is a sweet deal. So that's where I'm in right now. It's kind of interesting. The folks around here, the other campers, the trailers, I mean, they're nice. There's a nice little fifth wheel there and some other campers, but not quite as high-end as you see in a lot of the parks. Nobody had lights on all night. None of the string lights or the laser lights and everything. And they're all really quiet. I mean, there's some kids riding some bikes around, but I could highly recommend this park. This is a real nice place. and I don't know, it just seems different, just like a really good place to be. Anyway, that's what's going on. So like I said, it's just myself, the Ranger, and Jane. Jane's our GPS for those of you that haven't figured that part out. And we're going to head west probably tomorrow and see where we end up. Probably head back to New Mexico. And then what I'd like to do is see a little bit in Mexico. Hopefully the weather warms up, and then move up north into Utah. But we'll see how that goes. It could change at any minute. So anyway, please like this video, and then put in the comments anything you think I might do just a little bit different with these, or anything you'd like to see. I do want to do a tour of the trailer. I told somebody I was going to do that. I haven't done that. Show you some of the equipment that I think works well for us. So anyway, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next video.
You have reached your destination.